all of you beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. I'm fellow worker coming to you from Iqaluit, Nunavut. Today is day 3 in the Midnight Sun Summer Series. I'd like to welcome you all and give a shout out to Inuit because this channel wouldn't be possible if I wasn't living here in Iqaluit, in Nunavut, in the Inuit homeland. So today we're going to give you some stats for the day as we follow the sun, and then we're going to talk about what it's like living here amongst Indigenous people, amongst Inuit. Please check out day 1 and 2 if you haven't already, and subscribe so I can keep you in touch about the series. So it's 11 p.m. and the sun rose at 2:38 this morning and is setting at 10:27. That's 4 hours and 11 minutes of civil twilight. If you don't know what that is, go check out day 1. It's a lovely -1 today with very light winds of 3 to 4 kilometers an hour. So there's really no wind chill, but you can probably see some breath. So to start off, I'd like to just give you a few terms to become familiar with. So you hear Inuit, you hear Inuk. What's the difference? Simply put, Inuk is singular and Inuit is plural. So he is Inuk, or they are Inuit. And Nunavut means our land in Inuktitut. And the Inuit Nunavut means the Inuit homeland, or the place where Inuit live. And there are 4 parts to that in Canada. There's Nunavut, which is a territory in Canada, Nunavik, which is an area of northern Quebec, Nunatsiavut, which is in Labrador, and Iqaluit, which is Yukon Territory and Northwest Territories. That comprises 35% of Canada's landmass and 50% of its coastline. So here I am living here as a settler. And what's a settler? Well, it's simply put a non-Indigenous person whose lineage, either their direct experience or their lineage, came to these lands that were previously, and still are, Indigenous lands. So even though I have Latinx roots and most likely have Indigenous roots on one side of my family, I don't have that lived experience. So I can't claim that indigeneity. And anyone who does that, well, I don't do that. But I do have a deep feeling, a deep sense. I feel so connected to talking to you about this. Like, I really love living in a place where Indigenous people have lived, continue to live, learning about their culture, and there's a language that survives here. Now, other languages haven't survived. The predominant language is Inuktitut, but there are other languages, just like in other Indigenous cultures, that have died off, and others that are in the risk of dying. But it's amazing to come here. I think 80% of the people living in Nunavut are Inuit. So you hear Inuktitut. This area is governed by the Nunavut Agreement between Government of Canada and Inuit. In most of my videos, I'll put a link for the Nunavut Agreement, the 94 calls to action from the National Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. Now, if I could assign you some homework, and I would love to, if you go to the National Film Board of Canada's website and look up Broken Promises, High Arctic Relocation, I guarantee you will learn something factual. It will be intense, and your heart will open up. So, homework during the series, please go and watch that film. So I like to talk about my lived experience here, and I love it. I love being around a different culture. I love seeing Indigenous people thriving by passing on their societal values to their children. There's great hope in the youth here, youth who want to learn how to hunt and sow and get out on the land. It's very exciting. The word that comes up for me is resilience. What is resilience? It's recovering or adjusting to difficulties, conflict, change. Coming here is what inspired me to do this YouTube channel. And I really try to do it from an authentic place, as a settler, as a learner. So if I get something wrong, you can please comment. I can only speak from my experience. And what I want to do is let a lot of people out there who don't know, to open them up to learning, to knowing. And it doesn't have to translate in you personally feeling responsible. But once you learn, then perhaps your heart can open and you'll have some type of action in your life. And I can't say what that's going to mean for you. But for me, in part, it was coming here and learning and growing and taking accountability for my reconciliation, what I'm going to do. And I hope this might be one of the more serious of the days, but I couldn't go another moment without bringing this up, because I haven't seen it out there that much on YouTube. It might exist on other platforms, but a lot of people come here to have a job and make good money and have an experience and do winter sports. But you can't step on the plane on your way here and step off and not be very aware that you're in a very special place with Indigenous people, and you're being invited, and they are friendly, and they are open, and they want to help you learn more about their culture. Did you know that there are more artists in Nunavut per capita than perhaps anywhere else in the world? There are carvers, there are painters, people draw and have looms and do lithographs and sew sealskin. So the ingenuity of Inuit is why they are still here today. And I am grateful for this experience, and I hope that you learn something. And I'm going to be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll talk about the fresh air, or the fact that there aren't really many bugs, or the fact that summer blows your mind. There's a lot to talk about. I hope you'll come back. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying to the end. Here's a view of Frobisher Bay. Beautiful Iqaluit, Nunavut. Doesn't the light almost look like it's a green screen and that's not really there? Or is that just me because it's 11 o'clock at night and I should be in bed? See you tomorrow.